you're not lazy. You're just manifesting failure every day. And if you had asked me a few years ago if I procrastinated, I would have told you probably a lie. Huge business. I had a lot of employees, I had a lot of revenue, but I simply could not make myself do the important stuff. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to combine manifestation and business success. How to enter a new identity, the version of you that does not procrastinate. So if you watch this video to the end, you'll just have a solution for it, but also the reason behind it, because you are not procrastinating to hurt yourself. You're doing it to help yourself. But let's talk more about that in a minute. Let's just jump on the iPad. Let me just draw something for you. And just a quick notice, all I'm teaching you in this video is from my course Identity Rewind, which is a manifestation business course on changing your identity in 3 steps: self-perception, belief encoding, and frequency embodiment. More on that on the link in the description. But for now, let's just do some teaching, real valuable teaching. Let's jump into it. So, first thing, procrastination, right? You're not it. And first off, I'm sorry if there's any spelling mistakes. English is not my native language, as you might be able to hear, but the teachings are real. You're not it. So you're not a procrastinator. And a lot of people like to identify with being a procrastinator. And when you procrastinate every day, like I used to do, then you find yourself calling yourself a procrastinator and feeling like a procrastinator. And a lot of you business owners with ADHD, like myself, you will recognize this. I'll tell you right now, you're not it, because you have plenty of things you're not procrastinating on. You're not procrastinating on whatever, exercising, eating candy, watching videos that you should not be watching, whatever it is for you that you procrastinate, you use for your procrastination, that thing you're not procrastinating on. The procrastination is not full circle, it's in one direction. And most of the time, it's the important decisions. Most of the time, it's the identity decisions. What does that mean? Let me draw it for you. So the key line here is you don't fear the task, right? You fear what the task means about you. Because most of you guys that are procrastinating on important stuff, it's because you don't feel worthy of something. And that brings me to point number 2. You will have to identify what is it that I'm telling myself that makes me procrastinate. Okay? So for me, it was actually a pressure issue. And most of the time, it's a money issue. Some of the time, it's a time issue. Or it's a decision issue. But I think you will recognize that your procrastination happens if you need to make a very big assignment or big decision in one of these 3 areas. If you get pressured on one of these 3, you will procrastinate. So I know personally, not me, but clients, that they procrastinate if they have money issues. If they are pressured on the money side, they simply stop working. The point in time where they should be most focused on making more money, they can't. It collapses because that pressure from not having enough money paralyzes them. But for other people, it's about time. And for me, it was always about time. That if I feel like I'm unproductive, I become even more productive. So it's paralyzing for me to have a lot of assignments to do, to have little time to do it. And it's not for everyone, but for myself, I need a schedule where I have one important thing and where I have the mindset behind it that it's not important. I just do it for fun. And a lot of people also have a decision fatigue, that they avoid solving the things that requires a big decision. So switching to a new ad agency, hiring someone new, whatever it might be, right? So look at this and let's move on. So a common law of manifestation is and you've seen this before, you get what you are, right? Not what you want. You will attract resistance and you will being paralyzed by this if you feel like this. And we need to overcome that. We need to somehow release that side of ourselves to realize that procrastination is hurting us. Okay? And we'll do that by first realizing that right now you are not manifesting success. But if you know something about manifestation, you know you are always manifesting. So what are you manifesting? You are manifesting, but you are manifesting the delay of success due to fear. So if you did not have any fears in the world, your business would be thriving. It would be booming. You would simply be another person. And I think you know this intuitively, that when your business like jumps into new revenue levels, it is always because of a mindset shift. You meet somebody that is way better than you, or you learn something new. It's never about that endless search for new assignments to solve, right? That long to-do list that never does anything. It's always that switch in your mindset. And when you change, your business change, right? So you're not manifesting success right now, but you are manifesting the delay of success due to fear. Due to the fear of that emotion. All right? Let's move on. So in my program, we solve it by doing 3 things. Okay? It's a 3-phase method that I will teach you right now. So first off, we do a self-perception reset. 1. Then we do a belief encoding. So first off, we take care of the old beliefs. Who do you think you are right now? How are you feeling pressured? What are you feeling about money? What do you feel about your identity? Secondly, what would you like to be instead? Belief encoding, the encoding of new beliefs. And thirdly, how do we show up every day as this new person? And that's called frequency embodiment. That is the 3 things, and I'm going to teach you right now how to do it. You can apply it in your own life right now. Let's move on. So if we start off with self-perception reset. Okay. There's plenty of ways to do this. In the program, you will learn a lot of methods, but for now, let's just talk about revision. How do we revisit things that makes us feel bad, and how do we turn them into something new? To reset the self-perception, we need to know what our self-perception is. So I can't go into details in this video about that because you'll need to do the work yourself. But if I had you on a call right now, I would ask you, okay, when do you procrastinate? And then we would localize where on that triangle that I draw just earlier, where is your procrastination centered primarily? Is it one place? Is it multiple places? And then we would find moments where that happens. And then we would script it out. Script out procrastination scenes. Let's just call that PS. When it happens in your life that you start procrastinating, we would script that out so we know exactly. You would make a small text. When this happens, I do this. Okay? Then we would make a new scene. So if you would not react to your trauma, to the feelings you have towards money, other things, what would you do? Instead of procrastinating, what would you do? And then we would 3, visualize that scene with a different outcome. And if it's more severe, like heavy childhood trauma, we would do some hypnosis or future scripting, and we would incorporate it into a routine. But for now, script it out, play a new scene in your head, visualize it every day. Okay? And find those specific scenes where you can revisit the memories or the situations where you do it wrong, and then play them over as if you did it right. Okay? That's step number 1. And just a final point here. Point 4, neutralize. So you are not allowed to judge this. So the most important thing is actually to neutralize this. Don't feel bad about procrastination, because procrastination is a very good solution for you. Your system has developed procrastination in a way to help you, to avoid stressful decisions, to avoid anxious decisions, to avoid whatever it might be. So procrastination is there to help you. Your system sees this as a perfect way of getting you to not putting yourself out there, right? So it's trying to protect you. So therefore, don't judge it. Thank yourself. Never be negative about the old you. Just tell it to become passive instead. So if you procrastinate right now, do that before moving on in this video. Thank you, old me, for procrastinating, for trying to protect me. But as of today, I will move on into this future where I will choose a different coping mechanism. All right? Good. Now we can move on. So now we just thought about what to think instead, and now we will talk about what to believe and what to feel instead. So belief encoding, step number 2. If. That is step number 1. If anything could happen, if all your dreams came true, how would you feel and how would that impact your life? Write it down. So the point number 1 of belief encoding, if anything. I think this should be something light and joyful. And then you should train your system to feel that every day, because the neurons in your head that fire together, they wire together. So thoughts, they become beliefs if you think them enough. Like actions, they become habits if you do them enough, right? So we need to start practicing feeling light and joyful every day. And we need to train the system to be in that future ahead of time. If we can have everything we want, and we can, if we just rewind back to our original true self, then how would we feel? And we need to train the system to do that. And we need to repeat that every day. So right now we're not taking care of a specific thing about procrastination. We're just taking care of the future. How would my future look if I did not procrastinate? Or if anything, if I could just choose a future, what would I choose and how would that feel? All right? That is belief encoding, step number 2. And if you know your trigger very well, if you know what triggers your procrastination from step number 1, then take that with you and tell yourself, okay, in a future where I don't have that, what do I believe in my future that makes me not procrastinate? So make a visual scene, very beautiful visual scene, and do that. Okay? Step number 3. And step number 3 is frequency embodiment. And it's also what Nevillegoddard would call act as if, or living in the end, or Joe Dispenza would call it mental rehearsal. It might be like a bit further down the road than mental rehearsal, but you need to do a daily identity practice. And we can do that in different ways. Daily identity practice or micro embodiment moments. So we need to incorporate one thing every day or one thing every week that would represent our futures. The one that we are when we have a successful business. What would that person do differently? And for some people, it is dress differently. For some people, it is move their body differently, speak differently, a different posture. So you need to find something right now that would indicate to your system that it is new you and not old you. And I think you should find something where it is physical, because physical embodiment is always represented in psychological embodiment. If you have ever read The Body Keeps the Score, I recommend you read it. It's if you are into that kind of stuff, obviously, but you would move and speak differently if you had success. I know it because I have seen it. When I talk to my clients, there is a huge difference in body language from unsuccess to a lot of success. You pull your shoulders back, you use your arms, you smile more, you wear different clothing, you're more relaxed, you sleep better. whatever it is, but find something. Is it that facial expression that means some power, empowerment to you? Is it that body posture? What is it? That can you find something that really represents that future you in you? And then we need to make that an anchor, and you need to do it now. And then you close your eyes and you find that emotion inside of you. And then you say, this is me. And every time you fall down into low vibration, you close your eyes, do this physical gesture that you find with me now. You do it because you are naturally very high vibration. You were born high vibration. So this is about rewinding your identity to the version of you that is just born limitless, unfulfilled potential, just pure energy. And then you have parents and the system and friends and coworkers that is pulling you down. And then you just need to realize you are not down here trying to get up. You are up here, but being held down. Right? And that is a totally different perspective. That you just need to find this embodiment and just do it every time you feel down. So you realize, okay, I'm naturally just very powerful until I learned that I was not. And now we are relearning that process. All right? Your mind follows your body. Move like success. So don't try to fix your to-do list. Don't try to fix it. Fix your identity behind it. Fix your identity behind the to-do list. If I have to give you something practical in the end of this video, I will just say pick one thing to do every day and make it very fun. The one thing to-do list. That is a practical thing to do about your procrastination. Focus on the most important thing every day and make it fun somehow. Make it cozy, whatever you do. But change your identity. Don't change your to-do list. It won't work. Identity, thoughts, feelings, actions, results, business growth. That is the chain of commands. And instead of changing your actions, change your identity and everything will follow. Got it? Let's move on. Click the link in the description if you want to work with me. Let's talk soon. Get out of here.